welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Susan Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Minnesota in the U.S. I know I do have a few viewers from outside the U.S. So maybe maybe more of you will find me. Let me make sure I'm good here. All right. I think we're ready to go. A little crooked, but once we get going, it won't matter. So these are all the places you can find me. The easiest way to contact me is email me at susan@northstarstamper.com. NorthStarStamper.com is my personal website. That's what I call it, because that's what I am in control of. I will talk about that again in a minute and things I post on there. And you can find links to catalogs, I love fun folds and techniques, so you'll find directions for fun folds and techniques on there as well. And my newsletter talks about how to maneuver through my website. And then NorthStarStamper.stampinup.net is where you go to shop at my Stampin' Up! Store. So hello, friends and family. Thank you for joining me. I see Kathy from Southwest Missouri. She's on my team. And Christine is also on my team, and she happens to be my sister-in-law. And Chuck, if he's there, and Alma, another sister-in-law. I have lots of sister-in-laws because Tony has a big family. I have a medium-sized family. Anyway, hello, hello, and there's Ann, my sister. So we are from all over. Right now, we're all in M states, right? We're in Minnesota, Missouri, Michigan, and Maryland. Let's see if we can't find somebody from another state that doesn't begin with the letter M. Say hello. Let us know you're here. All right, enough chit-chat. We're talking about bundles because they're on sale this month. So bundles which are that are stamps and dies are normally 10% off. So if they are currently 10% off, because sometimes we have coordinating stamps and dies that have lost the bundle price because they're not new usually. But if they're new, we'll have a bundle price that is 10% off the price of the stamps and the dies. We also have stamps and punch bundles, but those are not on sale. And to make it easier to use the dies, you need a machine. So the machines, we offer 2 sizes, and the smaller one comes in 2 colors. Those are also 10% off. And a reminder, if you buy a machine from me, I give you a one-on-one class. I think the last class I did for a machine, we made 3 projects, and I made sure she knew how to die, emboss. I want to say there was something else we covered, but I make sure you know how to use all the tools that you have purchased. Okay, so this is so fun, and they titled this one very appropriately, Filled with Fun. I have lots of nieces and nephews having children, so I'm making more and more kids cards. So I love the balloon. That's what we're using today. And I know the dies are hard to see in packaging like this, so you know I like to make, I call this my cheat sheet. So I learn a lot when I use the dies. The most important thing is which dies I need to use an adhesive sheet on. So I have die cut a bunch of those. About a half an hour I decided to add strings to my balloons. So I had white that was already had the adhesive on it. So I just die cut a whole bunch of strings there. We should probably brainstorm. What else could you use that for? Can't think right now, but we're concentrating on balloons. So you can just stamp this in your wagon, or you can die cut it, so you can use different colors, so it's kind of fun. I have not played around with stamping this in the wagon. So you can see that you can stamp the wagon and the wheels and these things to go in it, or you can die cut them as well. Same with the balloons, a stamp and die cut the wheel. You can die cut it, and then they have this inside piece that I have here, the banner. And I always stamp in a different color so you can see some great sentiments. You probably already have a happy birthday sentiment, so they didn't include one here. I love the confetti. I haven't used that yet. Maybe we will today. And they have this really fun piece. It looks like wood grain. Let me make sure you can see. Let me hold it a little closer. So this was just die cut in crumb cake. This one I put pecan pie ink on the die before I die cut it. And it didn't show off the wood grain near as much as I thought it would. So on this one, I also put the pecan pie ink on the die. I just put the die right on my ink pad. And then I die cut it, but it wasn't dark enough, so I used a blending brush with more pecan pie ink, and the wood grain really came out on that. And then I just made it look like wooden wheels. And then here they have this little banner to Oh, maybe that's what we could use this string for. Could hold our banner pieces. I know that one's crooked, but that'd be kind of fun. And you could put these in different colors and make it really colorful and festive. Use the favorite color of the birthday person. So many ideas. But I have to share, this is an online exclusive stamp and die set, so it's not in the catalog. It's only on my online store. And I thought about getting this, and I debated, but then I saw that the July online exclusives include another stamp set that coordinate with these dies. There's another wagon that's a little more rustic, and then they have two more filler pieces. That's what I'm calling these two. One is, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's a snowman with a Christmas tree, and then there's packages with flowers that look like poinsettias. So they are going to make really fun Christmas cards. So that's when I saw that other stamp set, I decided to get this Stampin' Bundle while it was on sale. And I already submitted my pre-order for the July online exclusives. I believe they're starting July 3rd, I think. And so those will be coming. And so my July Christmas card will probably be using that stamp set with these dies. Okay. Is that enough talking? I think that's enough talking. Let's get busy. So today is the 17th of the month, and oh wait, I need the stamp set. Did you know I post a birthday card on the 17th of every month, because my birthday is on the 17th of the month in September, and then on the 25th of every month I post a Christmas card, so that you get 12 Christmas ideas throughout the year. It is quite and I try to use current products when at all possible. It is quite the struggle to find Christmas card ideas when we don't have Christmas products in the catalog. So some of them are kind of a stretch, but now that it's June, almost July, we are starting to get Christmas products back. So it's kind of funny. I kind of laugh every month. It's like, what am I going to use this month? So this is today's birthday card. It is on my blog, and I talk about the products I used, and they're listed there. So some of the fun things, I'll hold this a little closer. Let me make sure that's all right. I didn't want my wagon just floating on the ground, so I stamped ground here, and that stamp is from the Truckin' Along. These are not full size. They are 90%, so that's only 90% of the stamp, size of the stamp. So that should be for their truck, but I used it for our wagon. I think that's the only one I used from there. I'm surprised they didn't give us a word to go in this banner. And like I said, it doesn't include a happy birthday. So the happy birthday and the yay are from the Simply Said stamp set. There's the yay, and there's the happy birthday. I think they're great fonts. Simple to read for like a new reader, or a little one that's just learning to read. I thought it was really fun. I had a good time using blends to add a little bit of color to the cake and the presents. Otherwise, I just stamped in Real Red and Daffodil Delight. I like to use basic gray instead of black. It's just less harsh. For this, I did use the Tuxedo Black Memento Tuxedo Black ink, because I knew I was going to use blends, and that way it didn't bleed. So thank you for the comments. I do appreciate it. Oh, I thank you. I had fun coloring the sky, and that kind of leads me to our card today. Thank you, Kathy. That was perfect. The other thing, when I was stamping my inside layer for this card, I goofed and stamped my balloons the wrong orientation. So this is where the idea for today's card came from. I always like to know where other people get their ideas. So I do get a lot of my ideas on Pinterest or our catalog, or our online. There are samples online that I think that aren't even in the catalog. So if you're looking at a stamp set, they give you ideas. So that's where my ideas usually come from. So in addition to the Real Red and Daffodil Delight, I wanted some blues, and I just took a scrap. I really wanted to use Pretty Peacock because I love that color, but it just didn't quite go with that. So today we're using Azure Afternoon, Summer Splash, that's an in color, and Blueberry Bushel. I almost said that wrong. So those are the colors we're working with today. So I don't have my inner layer cut. Well, I guess I do if I use this one. But anyway, so when I cut my inside layers, make sure you can see. I have this cheat sheet, and hopefully you have one in your craft area or with your craft supplies too. This is so old the post-it note adhesive doesn't work, and I have a piece of tape on there and it ripped. So I have my layers a 1/4 inch smaller. So I just started with 5.5 by 4 1/4. Let me get my take your pick tool. I like playing with that better than my finger. And then I just went down, decreasing by 1/4 inch. 5 1/4, 5, 4 3/4, 4.5, 4 1/4. And then 4 1/4, we have 4, 3 3/4. These first three I know. When I get smaller than that, I have to look at my cheat sheet here. So I most often use 5 1/4 by 4. A lot of people do like smaller, I'll say reveals or edges around your layers. So you could add another one that's 1/8 of an inch instead of 1/4 of an inch smaller. But that's mostly what I use. So I'll just cut some more here while I'm talking. So 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to do a couple of those. And I'm showing this because you see I have a scrap there. This one I'm going to do a 1/4 inch smaller than that. So I'm going to go 3 3/4 by 5. And I haven't done it lately, and I probably should, but take a pack of white paper. I almost always use white. I don't use vanilla very much. And cut a whole pack of paper down into these sizes. It makes crafting so much quicker when you just have to grab one of these and go and just get busy creating, that you don't necessarily need to pull out your trimmer. So when I do cut down my basic white cardstock, I have a lot of these pieces. So sometimes I will come up with some ideas of using these. You could emboss them and use them on layers for your card. And when I say I have a lot, this is probably not even half of the ones I have over across on the other side of the room. So, because I cut them a lot, and the layers, you know, I've talked about how layers make the card. So those are all white. So I think I've told you about a paper crafter I know that doesn't buy colored cardstock. And I think she really doesn't buy it. I need to reach out to her and ask if I heard her correctly, or I could watch some of her videos. Anyway, she only uses a blending brush and ink with white cardstock. These were all white this afternoon. I participated in a webinar the last few days, and so while I was listening to the webinar, I took out a whole bunch of these white strips and my blending brushes and the inks and the colors that I told you about already, and I just colored them. I wanted to see if I could get a nice color using my blending brush, and I think I did a fabulous job. That is, you can tell it's white on the black, so that really, white on the back, so that really was a blending brush and ink, and there is the Daffodil Delight cardstock in comparison. I think it's a little brighter when I use ink compared to the cardstock. So that's what I'm using today. I'm using these. Let's see, get rid of the cardstock. So I do have a blueberry bushel card base. And then, just to show you that I really did use some of these pieces, and I die cut balloons. There's the white side. There's the other side. Now these are trash. I can throw those away. And I think this is going to add a little more interest to my card because they're not solid necessarily. You can see those are a little, this one has some splotches on it. That one does too. These are pretty solid. But I want to show you, they really are white on the back. They are not, they are white cardstock that I used my blending brush on. And then I do have adhesive sheets on these strings. So this is an idea for using your scraps. And I took a bunch of these and I just cut them down. And instead of making all of them 4 inches wide for added interest, and so that I don't have to make sure that I put them exactly in the middle, so I can offset them purposefully. I don't know if I like the blue on blue. So there's one that I didn't quite color in. You can tell it got warped. Where are the other ones? I know I have more. Just to add interest, I have some other colors here. Again, that's Summer Splash, Daffodil Delight, Real Red. I do have some Azure Afternoon. Where'd it go? This one. Oh, a little short one. No, I don't want that. And you can just play around with them and see what you like and what you want to use. I had narrower ones. There we go. I knew I had cut some down. So I'm going to adhere those. Sorry, sideways for you. I forget. I know with my videos, I pretend you're sitting next to me and that you're just watching me stamp. So I know my videos are a little different than most people. Most people have you overhead and watching as if you are stamping. But to be honest, I really like, I like the way I do it because I pretend you are sitting next to me. All right. Let's see what other colors. I don't know if I like that white one. Let's see. I could play around a lot. We're going to do this. And then I have die cut from, these are the perennial postage dies. They were in the spring mini catalog and they kept just the dies. They didn't, there was a sentiment only stamp set that was bundled with these dies. But they retired the stamp set, but they kept the dies. So this afternoon, again, I had time during that webinar, and I just die cut a whole, and I used white scraps to die cut these. And this one came out pretty nice, so I thought that'd be kind of fun to use on a card. I think it would fit. Yeah, it is. No, it's. I'd have to trim it down a little bit to get to the 4 1/4. But then put a layer behind it, and there's room down there for a sentiment, and stamp something different in each of those rectangles. So that's why I saved this. I don't always necessarily have them, sometimes they're a little bit crooked. They might be a little bit crooked on here, but it was close enough. I thought that'd be really fun for a birthday card too. I always think birthday cards. I send more birthday cards than anything. Okay. All right. What are we doing here? We are going to use Celebrating Someone Special. I thought that was kind of a nice, yeah. Where is it? This one. My glass mat. I absolutely love it. They are now available for pre-order to demonstrators, and they will be available to all customers in July. So that's kind of fun. Celebrating Someone Special. And use Blueberry Bushel. We'll put it in, let's see, kind of near the top. Oh, very nice. As you can tell, I don't use my foam pad hardly ever anymore. Although I stamp with some people at a church once a month, or we do crafts, I stamp. And the tables are that rough white plastic. We have the tables, they're from Sam's Club. So the surface wasn't flat, and I wished I'd had my pad with me. Okay, so they're Celebrating Someone Special. We're going to get that balloon out, because I thought about not doing this, and I thought, no, I need to do stamping. Stamping is the most fun part. So this one can fit in a small block. Sticks to the glass mat. There we go. I'm going to put this out of the way. Let's do a daffodil first. I like to use the lighter colors first, just in case I don't clean it well enough. I didn't want to get red on my... Oh, there we go. Perfect. Get red on my yellow ink pad. We'll put 2 of them on here. Real Red. Oh, isn't that pretty? Do you get good images like that? The keys are either a very, very flat surface like a piece of glass, or your a cushion of some sort, because the acrylic blocks, stamps, photopolymer stamps don't have the cushion on them. The other thing is having a very juicy pad. Make sure there's enough ink on there. Because you can buy re-inkers for all of the ink pads you buy from Stampin' Up. What else? I think those are the two things. And firm, even pressure. Make sure it's inked with the photopolymer. Let me see if I can do this. So when you ink it up, I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Can you see there? I'm going to hold up. Yes, you can see at the bottom. You can see there isn't enough ink on the bottom. So I'm not going to get a good image if I stamp that. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste paper. I guess I could have used a scrap, but to show you. All right, let's get busy and put this card together. I don't have any bling. Rhinestones would be good with this too. So I'm going to start in the middle. See, that is white on that side. I keep pointing that out, that I really did use my blending brush. Kathy noticed how crisp the cinnamon was. I can't say enough about our glass mat. I'm not even going to try to line these up. I am going to try to put them parallel this way, but as far as left to right, see, kind of a mess on the back. Oh, if you are going to color white, or whenever you're using a blending brush, I was blending something the other day, maybe a week or so ago. To me, that's the other day. And I had green ink on my paper. So when I'm not stamping with you on my videos, I do usually have a piece of grid paper on top of this. It's a little neater. And so I was blending with green, and then I went to go blend with, I think it was yellow, and it just made a mess of my project because the green ink wasn't dry on my grid sheet, and I got it onto my yellow where I wanted it yellow. So I learned. And so after a while, I started blending on this, and then between colors, I would just clean it off. What are we doing here? Another yellow one. You can see I did put a little too much adhesive right there. Can you see it? I will take care of that in a minute. And I'm already not straight, am I? I think once I get the balloons on here, it won't be so noticeable. I should have started at the bottom with the big one. I think they're all a little crooked. Oh well. It's okay. It's okay. Let's put a light blue one. Again, this is Azure Afternoon. We can straighten it out a little bit. How about another red one? Perfect. Some of these were wider, and then after I blended them, I cut them in half. I thought it'd be more fun to have narrower. And there I have too much ink. Adhesive or glue on that too. We'll let that dry a little bit before I show you what I do with those. So we're going to just lay this out like that. And then our balloons. I did die cut a white one. I don't know if I'm going to use it. Yeah, we could. And then all our strings. Like I said, rhinestones would be really cute on here too. With some dimensionals. I do have, I think it's called a gum eraser. We used to sell these. They are now at the Dollar Tree. I haven't seen them lately at my Dollar Tree. So after your adhesive is dry, you just kind of like an eraser. I think that, oh, don't go so hard, and I erased some of my paper there. I do have a little bit more up here, and you just kind of erase it, and it gums up your this piece, but it takes the adhesive off. So, all right, we're going to put this up here so you can see that there. Let's do that first. Oh, we didn't stamp on the inside or our envelope. Were you yelling at me? Sue, don't forget the inside. Don't forget the envelope. I usually try to remember to do that when I have my inks, my stamps out and they're already dirty. Because of course I want them to coordinate. there, cover up that spot. Let's decide where we want these to go. I think that's kind of cute. So these places where my, I'm a little off here, they're not, we're just going to go like that. Cover it up. We need a blue balloon too. I need to find one. So I thought that'd be cute up there. That's why I put the sentiment a little low. I knew I wanted a balloon up there. We need some other colors. Do I have a green balloon? Or summer splash? I thought I did. I don't see one. I guess not. We'll have to stamp that on the inside. Isn't that cute? I think it looks very festive. So the only dies from the bundle I used are the balloons, but it was kind of fun. Let's see here. We're going to put little dimensional there and a little one up there, and then just put this off the corner like that. All right, and then we're going to use these. So if I put that there, it's going to go off. So I am just going to trim. I was afraid it was going to go flying. Now, if I can get this adhesive liner off. Last week when I used them. Oh, cute. I had them started. There we go. And we can use that other little piece I took off, I cut off, on this one on the bottom. I'll let you look at that. So have you noticed this bundle online yet? It's kind of fun. No pun intended. They, like I said, they named it very well. And that, there's the stamp, You Make My Heart Bloom. You could use that with any of your flower stamps. I'm going to put that a little. This is so thin I was able to maneuver it right where I wanted it. And we'll put two on here. I'm going to pop up these. Again, you could vary the colors on here to coordinate with the recipient's favorite color. I guess these are all kind of long for my card. Oh, the other thing, I don't know if you can see. When you use a die, there's a little dot right there. I don't know if you can see it. It's from the release hole. So sometimes that bothers me. It must be bothering me right now. I just take my bone folder and kind of even it out. And it's a little less noticeable. I don't know if you can see it there. Sometimes they're really noticeable. I think on dark paper, they are much more noticeable. All right. Balloons. Who doesn't love a balloon? We get them every so often. Again, always from the dollar store because they're $1 in a card. They might be a little more than that now because I think helium has gotten more expensive. We'll leave this one alone. How is everybody's? Oh, this one. I forgot. I die cut this white one when I was die cutting my strings. So this one actually has adhesive on the back. And I could tell because it's shiny. I know the weather has been really crazy here. I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. I know some of you are really warm. We were warm yesterday. I don't think we hit 70 today. And it's just been raining on and off for like a week. Saturday poured. I got to stay home and stamp and get ready for Father's Day. We had all the kids home yesterday, so that was fun. Had dinner and played games. There we go. And this one, let's see if I can. See, I like to use my take your pick tool for all kinds of things. Let's see, where's that going to go? Right there. Oops, oh, I just dropped it. I don't know where it is, where it went. I have two-tone carpeting where I stamp. I know I'll find it, but just taking the liner off. They're cooperating today. That's very nice. I say that and then, oh, all right. I'm going to tuck it under so it looks like that yellow balloon has a string too. There we go. Get that stuff out of the way. So there's that. And then one of these that I cut. And so when I cut this, I have more of those strips that I can use to color and any narrow die. So I use the wider piece to die cut the balloons. Stamps, ink, and paper. Stamps, ink, and paper. Oh, cat just walked by my window. We don't have a cat. There is a cat that comes to visit Andrew, but I don't think that was the right one. Anyway, Daffodil Delight. Oh, I do have another trick. Hopefully you're still with me. I have another trick. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the hearts. I do have a trick. Let's do a blue one. Summer Splash, because I have Summer Splash on the front, and I like coordinating the front to the inside. So I inked it up, and I was about to stamp, and I saw that it was not well inked. Our new colors have lots of bubbles. I need to contact Stampin' Up! And see if that's supposed to be. It does get better when it dries, but still, I should get a nice, more solid image. Let's do an Azure Afternoon. I think this one's okay. I'm going to wipe it off because it was wet. Let me see, that one's better. There we go. I think we need 5 balloons. We'll do red. I already have it out. Alright, so there are balloons. Now I want to, there is a stamp for the string as well. So you have that option. I don't know if this one will fit. Hold on, I need to do this in front of me. Alright, so I put it on the smallest block it'll fit on. And then I'm going to take, well, a scrap paper would work. I don't want to go through my scrap bin. I'm going to take a Post-it note. It'd be kind of boring if I made all of these strings the same length. Let me see if I can find this one for you. So like this one, they're all different lengths, but I only have one long stamp. I'm going to use this as a mask to make the strings shorter. Let's use Blueberry Bushel. I know it's here. Oh, too many piles. Let's use Blueberry Bushel for our string. This one I used basic gray. Get this out of the way a little bit. Sorry, it's going to be upside down for you because I am a lefty. So I'm going to, okay. So if I inked up the whole thing and stamped, my string would go into my balloon. Actually, I can do it this way for you. So if I did it this way, to vary the length of the strings on the balloons, the string would be in the balloon. So I'm going to mask off the balloon. I'm going to leave just the ever so little bit right at the bottom. And then I can decide how long I want this string. So the ones on the ends, I am going to go long. So I'm going to pick up and move my mask to the next one. Ink, and so I can see right there is where the end of my balloon is, so I can decide how long it's going to be. Let's do this one short. And so I stamped on my mask, which hid the balloon. I didn't get that one quite right, did I? That's okay. And this one I'm going to go short again because I want space for my sentiment, and I'm varying the angle. We can do this one. Let's turn it around and see. Oh, let me stand up. I think that was my problem. I'm going to clean off my stamp because I had some blue ink on the corner of my block. I'm going to move this over and show just a tiny little bit of my balloon there, and then we're going to make this one long. There we go. So that's a masking technique. So you stamp first what you want in the front, you mask it off, and then when you stamp, it looks like it's behind it, or in this case, attached to it. I wish they had a little bow for this. You know what? Let's use the confetti because I have it. I've only used it to stamp my cheat sheet. All right. I think blue is going to be too dark. So I'm going to grab a piece of scrap. I'm going to stamp off. Hopefully you can see that. Yep. And we'll just put some confetti. Stamp off. Stamp off. Stamp off. I'm going to turn it around and put some more. Always stamping off before I do. Oh, look at that. Doesn't it look like a party? I would love to get this card. How fun is that? But let's not forget our envelope. I have one here on my table somewhere. Let me keep looking. Probably under it. Oh, I got ink on me. Clean that off a little bit. Alright, it was on the bottom of everything. This time I'm going to stamp the string first. And clean that because I don't want to get blue ink everywhere. Alright, and what are we doing? We're going to put that confetti on here. Why not? Turn it around so it looks more confetti-ish. Let's go off a little bit. So I'm doing the front and the back of my envelope. Alright. And clean it off. Do you stamp your envelopes? Let me know in the comments. And do you stamp on the front or do you stamp the flap? Obviously on this one I'm doing both. Let's get some other colors out here. How about daffodil bullet? I'm going to make sure this is clean. Turn it around. It just adds more interest. Clean that off. And while I have yellow out, my balloon, I'll put a yellow balloon on here. Let's add some red. That way it'll tie everything together. Add some red confetti to the flap, and then we'll put our card layer on the inside. Red confetti. Oh, sorry, I think you can see what I'm doing. So I'm turning it over just so it looks a little more random. One more up here. Isn't that cute? Could use any colors, obviously. Like I keep saying, use the birthday person's favorite color if you know it. I remember I have two nieces who were born the same year in March and April, so they always got the same card. One loved pink, one loved purple, so they would get the same card, one that was pink and one that was purple. It was pretty fun. There's our card, our envelope. There's our inside layer. Well, that nice. We're going to adhere this to the inside. Some rhinestones might be a fun addition to this card. And this is a little wider than most, so that's a full 1/4 inch. Oh, isn't that cute? We need a happy birthday. Do I have a happy birthday handy? Yeah, we'll do that one. Oh, that one says let's celebrate. Where's happy birthday? Normally I like to stamp before I adhere. This stamp is wide enough. Another trick, if you're still with me. There's enough space between the happy and the birthday that I think I can ink up just the happy. Being photopolymer, I can see through it. I got a little on the B, so I'm going to clean that off and dry it off. Try again. So I'm just inking the happy. I think right there. Perfect. I'm going to clean that off. Dry that off. Make sure it's dry. All right. I'm going to go on the other side and just ink the birthday. And look at that. Because I didn't want the happy birthday all the way across. So you can do that. That is one good thing about photopolymer stamps. That's my card for you today. Lots of tips and tricks. It's a fun bundle. I hope you consider buying it. Let's see what questions and who I missed. I always miss the same people, don't I? So, thank you for joining me if you're still here. Thank you, Alma. It was really fun to make the card. The bright colors are just so happy, especially on a dreary day like this here. So, Anne says it's great for anyone. I thought so too. Wouldn't that be fun to get in the mail? Kathy liked the card. Love all of the colors. Yep. And we have so many great colors. There were 6 other colors I could have used. I could have used, I thought about Highland Heather. I thought about Night of Navy instead of Blueberry Bushel. You could go pales. You could go regals if you're doing a fall card. There's just so many options. Okay, let me make sure I said hello to everybody. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. Hi, Mom and Dad. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. I do take requests if there's something you want to see. Otherwise, I'm going to continue with another bundle next week because they are on sale for the whole month. The one I just got when I got the this Filled with Fun was the Loveliest Tree. It's just a big oak tree. It's a smaller bundle, so it's a smaller price point, which is kind of fun to have that option. So that's what I'll be using next Monday, unless I hear from somebody and I have a request. So thank you for joining me. Happy stamping, and I'll be with you next week. Bye. Take care.